Good morning, guys and girls. So starting off on a zoomed out view of the since January last year, I have these fixed range pulls. So the first thing I want to show is this high volume node here. It corresponds with that high volume node, and it corresponds with that high volume node. And see, those 2 point of controls are well, the one from the 25th of July, that whole uptrend and down again, like that N formation we have there, and then the one from the top, just the downtrend. Both have their point of controls exactly in the same spot. They have that low volume area there that we've just moved through, but now we're bumping into that high volume area. So I think we're going to really need a lot of strength from the bulls and momentum to get into this level. So it's much more intense than I initially thought. There you can see, so I'm just going to start hiding from the side. Hide that one. High volume, and low volume corresponds. So it makes sense that we came quickly into this area, but this is going to take real strength to get through there. And take that away, and take that away. So this anchored VWAP that we rejected off is from that last high before we came down. So you can see, maybe I must just draw that line in there, so you can see that area there, and obviously you can see there was same reaction there. See, we have a lot of, well, that's the high volume. You see there, we spent time there, not as much, because we spent a lot of time in there. So just before we came into that was the last high node, or the pivot, before we dropped into this range that we spent a very long time in, and that is the anchored VWAP that we've just rejected off there. Then still staying on a slightly zoomed out view, so remember that FIB channel that I showed there, and we're still rejecting off that 1.618, I think, 2.618, sorry, 2.618 there. It's not an exact line. We slightly pushed through, we just front ran it there, but it's just still showing us there. So that's probably going to be our first resistance, and then getting above this VWAP and claiming it, going through, retesting it, maybe like that. Then there we know, okay, we've broken this level, or the anchored VWAP, as resistance. And then I just wanted to touch on the altcoins before I go into the Bitcoin analysis. So this is Gala BTC. It's not a very big coin, high volume, but it's respected. You can see there's a lot of fibs pulled on here, and I've got the fixed range tool as well. Look how it's been respecting that point of control there. So you always look for, well, I always look for altcoins that are respecting technical analysis, and then that's always safer to try and play with them and trade with them. So what I wanted to say is we must look at this 22-24 January area, because that's when Bitcoin started its uptrend. Let me just go to this here. See there, that was that 24th of January, sorry, not June. You see, that's when Bitcoin started to show its strength. It's like a 45-degree angle up there. So any other coin on the BTC pair, so the coin with not the dollar pair, but the BTC pair, that's shown growth, is then, according to me, showing real strength, because BTC showed strength from the 24th of January. So if a coin compared to BTC has also shown strength, that is like double, you'll get double the bang for your buck. So I wanted to show that. So Gala is not such a big coin, but I have looked at it before for smaller trades, just for scalp trades, because it's been respecting. So let's go back to Atom, just as an example. You see, from the 24th of January was about there. Now let's check out where it was. 24th of January was there. It's actually weakened against BTC. So that's something, just something to look at, to choose the coins which you will try. Now Atom is a big coin. I'm not showing it's not strong. This anchored VWAP is holding up really strong. So maybe this could be a place for a trade, for a low leverage trade, but you'll have to watch Bitcoin very carefully, because if Bitcoin shows weakness, then we're going to drop through here. Let's just look at Phantom. Phantom is also quite a big blockchain. Yeah, you see we're just hanging on to the value area low there, so it's all good if it respects technical analysis, then you can look at it. But 24th of January we were around there, so we've lost strength against BTC. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see the same picture we've lost. I just want to show you one that's really been like a perfect picture. Okay, one other one before I get to that one is Tezos. Look at Tezos from the 24th of January. That's real strength. So Tezos also respects technical analysis really well, so it's also a coin you can look at. Avalanche, AVAX coin is the Avalanche, I think that's the Avalanche network. But look at that from the 22nd of January. That's nearly like a perfect picture up there, not just excluding this weak area or that week. But look at that line. It's I've been looking at this for a while. I don't know, I'm trying to draw a line here. So that line there and that line there, it's so perfect. And it's all just consistent strength from the 24th of January. But what made me look at it now is I just saw some news that how can I say, the turnover on this coin is just there's a lot of money flowed into this network, so that's why it's had this consistent growth. So really a coin to watch. Okay, so I've spent a lot of time trying to explain that, but that's all I really wanted to say. Is search on the BTC pair. On the BTC pair, search for coins that show strength against Bitcoin while Bitcoin was showing strength, and then you have yourself something really good to look at and trying to analyze. Okay, back on the Bitcoin chart. So I showed you this yesterday. We had a look at this range there that I just showed you when at the start of the video. Also, this is where we spend most of the time this year. That point of control is really important there. So we sort of managed to breach this previous little range here, and we're just bouncing off that block that I basically marked red, and I've just explained how much momentum we're going to need to break through there. So the story still stays the same. I'm just going to mark the daily levels for you, and that will be it for today. Right there we have the daily levels, or the previous day levels, but the levels that we can use today. Okay, so there's no other significant new levels today. There is a new naked session point of control, but I don't put too much weight on that, as that high, yesterday's high, is to me will carry more weight than that. There's a small single print, but we've already halfway filled it just now as I speak. So no other new levels. So just one last thought I wanted to leave with you. So since the high at 68 or 69,000, it's all been lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. The only change, there was one higher high than that, but that was, you can probably have seen that as, but anyway, that was really short. So the first change in market structure that I could find was here. So that was the lowest high, and then we made a higher high and a higher high and a higher high, and that was an 8-day period, and then we collapsed again. Now, since you can probably take it for there, but let's be conservative when we say take that high to where we are now is 16 days. So we're definitely showing a little bit more strength now, or endurance. So double the time in a change of market structure than we had there, and you can see the difference in the picture. So we had consolidation, a slow grind up, a bit of a retest, and then we had a really good push, consolidation, and another good push. So this just looks really good to me. There we basically had 1-2 pushes. Here we had a slow grind and a really good, a bigger push than any one of those, and then we just had this smaller one again, but now we're consolidating again for quite a while. There we pushed up and we dropped immediately, and I think that's a big difference here. We're consolidating, we're not dropping after the last push up. So I'm really liking this little picture that I see here. Okay, some thoughts for the day. I'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. Cheers.